Well, folks, since I don't have any crumble cookie, you're getting another video from me. It's literally this easy. You send me crumble cookie, I stop making videos. But since the Vigilante Show does not want me to be great, Unraveling Architecture Reality Check. Architecture school does not prepare you for anything. Ugh.
I feel like I lied to you guys. No, I'm joking. And I'm a little salty just because I think I was in school for 7 years at two good schools. I felt like an idiot going into work and not knowing simple things. And now every school's different, of course. I haven't seen a video online yet that really goes into detail with brutal honesty like today about what it really is to be an architect. I think a lot of times, myself included, and I have done this, where we all glamorize what it's actually like online. We've all seen those aesthetic videos where it's like, I'm an architect, my mom's an architect. They're all so wonderful. She's carrying a Birkin bag. She just designed the most stunning building and shows up in a Bentley. I mean, I don't know what kind of architects you know. We don't run in the same circle. There are definitely different challenges that come when transitioning from academia to the professional practice. Hey guys.
Let's go into that one. That right there is a whole thing. Yes, you will see online people make architecture, engineering, urban planning, urban design. They make it look glamorous. It's not as glamorous as you think it is. Some people make real estate look glamorous. It's not as glamorous. You're not walking around with, these bags and suitcases. Every housewarming party or every project wrap party isn't, star-studded, $1 million, whatever. No, it's pretty much it's kind of fucking boring.
How are you doing? It has been so long since we just sat down and had a nice casual conversation. That's what we're doing today. Today's video is really talking about the navigation part post-graduation of architecture school. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Natalie. I'm the creator behind Unraveling Architecture. I went to undergrad at Ohio State for 4 years. I went to Penn for 3 years to get my master's degree. And it is required by NCARB to have these educational credits requirements in order to become a licensed architect. There's this huge gap between academia and professional practice that even though a lot of people take pro-prac classes in college, they don't necessarily entail what practicing architecture is truly like. If you are a student watching this video is probably one of the most important videos you'll ever watch. I'm going to give you such brutal honesty that I have not yet found on the internet. I think a lot of people glamorize architecture. It's a highly respected field. Anytime I tell someone I work in the field of architecture, everyone's always like, wow, there are certain real world experiences that aren't necessarily captured online. So today's video is super casual, just kind of a sit down and let's talk. Sorry for the appearance, sorry for the background mess and all that stuff.
No, trust me, it's fine. Nice degree on the wall. Actually, the funny thing is I like stuff like this. I hate when people get all made up and everything to do a video. No, look, listen, give us the raw, gritty, all of that. We like that. Oh, by the way, what is that down there? Looks like a little Ewok or looks like a little minion. I don't know what that is down there by the more videos part. I don't know what that is. You may want to explain that because it looks like you have a little robot. And if you have a robot, I know you're making too much money in architecture.
Let's just get right into it. There are certain realities of professional practice that I was not prepared for. I think first and foremost, design becomes very secondary, even though while in school, it was the primary focus. To better illustrate that, I remember when I was in school, I would spend every waking moment trying to do my studio or thesis work, very less so about the technical side of things, running coordination meetings with other parties, budget, all that stuff. Sure, we did some client presentations where the client is your professor and the jury. Everything else in professional practice does not necessarily flow the way architecture school did. Some are good things, others make you feel a bit nostalgic for academia. I also want to point out that it's very real if you graduated and you're feeling this sense of nostalgia. I find myself facing different challenges now that I am graduated. I have different challenges, but I feel less alive, if that makes any sense. I love design. I love making the YouTube videos. I love expressing myself creatively. I love art. I've always had this right side brain aspect to me and my life that I really needed to express. And right now, I don't necessarily get that in work.
There is always a disconnect between school and the real world. And it doesn't matter if it's architecture school, engineering school, medical school, law school, real estate school, whatever school it is, there's always this huge disconnect. There's always things that you learn and ends up it doesn't really matter, or things that they kind of brushed on that then becomes the biggest thing in your career. And then there's the things that is like, you did learn it, you don't use it, but then one day, that's the one thing that if you don't know, it's either going to make or break you. Now, for a lot of people, like I went to real estate school, the one thing a lot of people do not use is how many square feet are in an acre. And there's a funny story with that. I'm not going to go into it. If you know, you know.
Went into this field with high expectations, but I feel like everything has just been a different experience. So the first topic I wanted to talk about is this theoretical approach that's very prevalent in academia versus practical applications. At my firm, I spend majority of my time preparing client presentations, participating in VE efforts, meeting with my superiors. It's not a lot of design work. In school, very creative. Everyone tells me in work, it's nothing like school because school's whole purpose is to make you think like an architect. But then when I got into professional practice, it seems like I'm just meeting with consultants. There's some days when I feel really fulfilled and there's other days when I don't. And this is also true when I was a student and questioned if this is the right path for me. All that being said, if you are in academia and you love the strong conceptual kind of mental tasks that come with school, it's hard to find a firm that actually complements your interest. So that's takeaway number one. I guess the other thing I also want to mention is that I have some friends working at very luxury architecture firms, very big names. Everyone wants these jobs. They're so prestigious. They're working 12-hour days with no overtime, and their salary is awful. And I feel like that's another thing to talk about. It's like you could work in corporate, or you could work for a major designer and feel alive but don't get paid anything, feel kind of dead and do get paid anything. It's kind of like this weird choice everyone has to make.
When you come out of school, you do have choices. I mean, now you don't have at first, if you're in the right place or if you know someone, yeah, you can possibly get into, let's say, an HOK Populous or Skidmore something. Jesus Christ, that name just really left my mind. And the worst part is they're from my hometown. But if I had to choose between the two, I would probably, it looks good on your resume that you work for the Starchitects or the people that do the big things. But the question is, are you fulfilled? I mean, if you're fulfilled with, hey, my firm did AT&T Stadium or SoFi Stadium or Intuit Dome. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm never going to sit here and say it's a bad thing. But if the pay doesn't match, no, I'm sorry. No. I'm a human. I got bills to pay. I need everything to line up. But once again, if I'm designing, let's say, New Lumen Field, and the pay looks great, yeah, as a Seahawks fan, I'm going to go for that.
Second thing I want to talk about is more about criticism against academia. I felt that there was limited exposure to industry technologies and tools and just general knowledge. For the first couple of months while I was at my firm, I just remember sitting there thinking, wow, I went to school for 7 years and I really don't know that much. I feel like I have good design instincts myself, but I definitely struggle understanding certain terminologies, how to do X, Y, and Z. I feel like should have been discussed and taught to me in school. And I went to 2 different schools. It could be a criticism exclusive to these 2 schools after talking to a couple, the viewers of the channel.
I guarantee you it is not exclusive to your 2 schools. I guarantee you. But she did go to 2 very good schools. Ohio State. I think what happens with a school like Ohio, and this isn't about that. This is a little bit different. I think people forget Ohio State, even though it is a state university, it has a very deep and very prestigious alumni network. And so does UPenn as well. UPenn is a good school as well. Both of them have, but I think Ohio State, I would say Ohio State is up there with the Harvards, the Yales, the Michigans, the USCs, the Stanfords when it comes to their deep alliance network. That is, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is not really exclusive. I think every school you kind of come out feeling like, did I really learn everything I needed to know? You never do. And it's okay. It's fine. Some things you're just going to have to pick up on the job, or you may have to take extra courses. But trust me, UAA did not teach me everything I needed to know. Then again, it's UAA. Soul crushing.
A couple of my friends who are also in various architecture schools, it seems to be pretty universal. I also want to emphasize the importance of knowing Revit. Revit just seems to be king in my firm. I know some firms don't use it, some only use Rhino or AutoCAD. Revit just seems to be the perfect program, especially when coordinating a very large project, which I am actually on a very large multi-million-dollar project right now. But I feel like when I first started professionally working, I needed to know this program. My cat's going to the bathroom. I needed to know this toast. I did not know this program well enough. There are also certain analysis programs that I do not know, like Stanza, Ladybug, certain climate-related ones that I should have been taught in school. I also just want to emphasize, if you're currently in high school looking for an architecture program, make sure you ask. Make sure you ask how in-depth certain software tutorials in college are, and it will help you so much later down the line. During my last year at Penn, there was a huge discussion in terms of, should school teach you these programs? Should they teach you everything you know about the job?
I say yes, because once you get out into the working world, you need to know these things. And that is the thing that kind of sucks, is if your school does not use something and the place you're trying to get an internship, a co-op, or even just a job, and you don't know that, like, for example, as we go back to what I said, UAA only teaches what the state needs to know, what you need to know to get a job within the state of Alaska. So there are certain things they teach, like AutoCAD, but they don't go into BIM. They don't go into Revit. They don't go into SketchUp. They don't go into a lot of other things. Now they did just start to bring in Rhino, but they're still heavy on AutoCAD. They do nothing with anything else. So these are courses. There's things that you're going to have to go outside the school to get. You're going to have to go outside the school to get your BIM certification, your Revit certification. Like I had to go outside to get these things because UAA doesn't teach it. As a matter of fact, UAA doesn't even have a bachelor's degree in architecture. They do for engineering, for structural and civil engineering, mechanical engineering, but not for architecture or architectural engineering, because our state needs more draftsmen and engineers than they do architects. So that could be a reason why, but And that does put it on you. The onus falls on you, the student, to go learn these things on your own, which is a little bit more money you're going to have to pay out of pocket when you're already paying however much to the school. And that is a frustration, but it makes you more marketable in the end if you have that certification.
Oh my God, my cat. My cat is just. I remember I got into a little bit of a disagreement with a person in my class. In this professional practice class, basically, he thought that the school's job was to just teach you how to be a designer. Fair. But you could teach someone within 7 years how to be a good designer and how to have good design instincts while also teaching them basic skills and softwares that you need to execute out these designs properly. This next bit I want to talk about budget. Budget is crazy. I am in a multi-million-dollar VE effort at the moment at the time of this being recorded. We have to cut $30 million out of our building proposal, and it was the most stressful 2 weeks of work to date. I don't even know how to do it. We don't even talk about budget in academia. Once again, just...
You really don't. As a matter of fact, when you're doing certain things in school, you almost have an unlimited budget. So when you get into the real world and now you have to, you're so used to doing these projects in school where you can do this, you can do that, you can put gold leaf on the roof, and you can make floors of platinum because there's no budget. Your professor doesn't actually give you a budget to stay within. But now, you finally have a budget that you have to work with, and it's like those things that you're so used to doing at school, you can't do in the real world. And now you don't really know how to manage this. And that is where school can really help you.
New area to keep on growing and pushing yourself for personal development. Toast.
Girl, what is your cat doing? Oh, by the way, nice little thing back there too. That's the little cat platform thing, little cat condo. That's dope. I like it. Hold on, let's take a good look at that. That is dope. I like it. I like her room setup. Her room setup is pretty cool, by the way. Nice little cover back there. Is that a candle holder on the wall? Yeah, that's like a little candle holder or lamp back there. That's pretty cool too.
Toast. He likes to bury his food. Toast.
Don't we all?
Financial constraints will dominate your project, will dominate any project. Would have been nice to have a studio that did have imaginary financial constraints. I think that would have been really helpful. And I'm a little salty just because I think I was in school for 7 years at two good schools. I felt like an idiot going into work and not knowing simple things. I know every school's different, of course. The next thing I want to highlight is the importance of collaboration. I have met so many people, especially in grad school at Penn, I have met so many people that were they wanted to work alone. They wanted to be solo, and I think that is a huge point of growth for those types of people. You need to know way too much information for one person to do it all. So learning how to work with people, interdisciplinary collaboration between engineers, contractors, specialists, so important. As important as the design. It's how we get digital projects built in the real world. The other frustrating part, kind of like what I mentioned in the beginning, is that I feel like the longer I stay in corporate architecture, working professionally, I feel like part of my designer instincts is dying. I feel excited to go to work and I like what I do, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for...
No, actually, she's telling the damn truth. I have no clue why I keep freezing on certain parts, but that is very true. Working for corporate versus working for a mom and pop architecture firm or engineering firm or someone else, it's almost like the corporate big firms will stomp out all of your creativity if it is not some ludicrously over the top looking something that someone else came up with. Sometimes it does. Like there's things that I love in architecture or engineering that doesn't always mesh well with corporate, because corporate things have to be corporate this, corporate that, and you're not the star. It's not your name going on the building, so shut up. and just do what they tell you to do. Yeah, I understand what she's saying. I really do.
Listening to me ramble on. It's been a while since we caught up. I have a whole YouTube plan and stuff. I know I've been saying this for months and I just never executed it, but doing my thesis that last year of grad school was a little bit difficult. Maybe I'll do a thesis like walkthrough. I did 2 video essays, which actually did not perform well on the channel at all. Whoops, I'm so sorry. I was just trying out something new, but
No, don't apologize. I didn't really watch the Los Alamos, but do go check out this one. The Costco, Target, IKEA. By the way, we're not doing anything with Target right now, but Costco, shout out to you. The hot dog deal is amazing. Their pizza is top notch. I'm not a Pepsi person, I'm a Coke person, but their drinks are amazingly cool.
let me know if we could have debates or talks or something fun.
Okay, I think that's the best I'm gonna do at freezing her on like a normal face. I'm so sorry. Please don't hurt me. Please, if you ever see me in real life, don't hurt me. Anyway, Unraveling Architecture, go like her channel, go subscribe to her channel, watch her videos. She is a very awesome content creator. She deserves way more love than she gets. And let her know you want those videos that are architecture, but they take on a deeper meaning, like her IKEA stuff and some of the things like she did with like the wall in Saudi Arabia. Let her know you like that stuff. We want more of those videos.